What is up, y'all? It's BCP, aka Blue Collar Progressive, aka the Joe Rogan of the left. I'm going to be here this morning reacting to this clip right here of Theo Vonn on Joe Rogan's podcast, where he was talking about his old childhood friend, David Duke, of the head of the KKK, and how we got to meet him and how you saw him as a dude who just liked to lift weights. So anyways, we're going to be getting into this clip that's making the rounds, and I'm going to be adding something to the conversation that I think people aren't quite talking about yet. And, you know, calling into question whether we should really believe this guy, Theo Vonn, or not. So anyways, we're going to be getting into all that and more. Thanks for joining us. This is the Blue Collar Progressive, aka BCP, aka the Joe Rogan of the left. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be getting right into it. And if you like the content, if you like blue collar progressive content, that is progressive content from blue collar workers, people that are in the streets, living life, dealing with this day to day. If you like that kind of content, you can go ahead and subscribe to me. But share my videos with your friends mainly. Send it to your favorite content creator. Make a video of your own responding to me. I would really appreciate it. Let's get the dialogue going, and let's talk about this video of Theo Vonn.
Hello, freak. And I go, I gotta go. And so I leave, and then I never worked out at that gym again. I was like, well, I'm done. I can't come here anymore. And this fucking guy's trying to get my money. Plus, he's a
Here
big
he
dude,
is,
so it was kinda
talking
dangerous.
about David
He was to say
Duke.
no.
Dude, I used to work out with David Duke when I was growing up.
Holy shit.
The leader of the
Back then,
KKK,
Holy
if you
shit.
didn't know.
We used to go to, I mean, that's kind of, I don't know if you consider the Ku Klux Klan a pyramid scheme or not, but, and he dated, I worked at this seafood restaurant. I was a busboy over there, and he dated the prettiest girl that worked at this seafood restaurant.
Was this when he was in the KKK?
No, this was after he was non-practicing. Honestly, seemed like a nice guy, dude.
How many years ago?
This was after? I don't, that statement right there, that sentence right there. So this is what I want to talk about this clip, is that I feel like there's a lot of things, the clip is making its rounds, but there's a lot of things that Theo says in between the lines that I think need to be talked about, because, yeah, this whole, like, rehabilitation for KKK figures who were just saying, oh, this was after, oh, I don't think he was non-practicing. What do you mean he's non-practicing? He's still practicing. So there's just a gap where he was not, and he was just a cool guy dating some pretty girl. No. I'm gonna keep playing it. There's a part further that I want to make a further point about here, in terms of their recruitment. But he already told you that, I don't know if you consider it a MLM or a pyramid scheme or not. I mean, this guy is intentionally obtuse. You gotta understand that this guy's playing dumb. Yeah, it's a MLM. Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme. They're not gonna call it that per se, but in the way that they recruit people, anyways, we're gonna get into it. But this guy's playing dumb.
I mean, this is 1995, man.
So that was when he was in the public eye. He was like a big deal back then, right? Wasn't that when, was it later than that he was like running for public office?
Let me think. It was, no, when I was younger, he was running against Edwin Edwards, I believe, for public office. That was probably around 1990 or 88.
It doesn't
I feel
matter.
like he did some stuff after that, though, on a national level. Or was it on a state level? Was he running for governor or something like that?
He ran for governor a couple times. Yeah, him and...
He knows so much about him.
Because Edwin Edwards was a crook, allegedly, and
He knows
David
so
Duke was a
much.
racist.
Yeah.
And that's what one of the campaign posters said, don't vote for the racist and vote for the crook. That was the campaign
Jesus Christ.
poster that was everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
And the crook won. That man won.
That's crazy.
But yeah, let's just see it again. This very first part.
Worked out of it. Plus, he's a big. Holy shit. Dangerous to say no.
This is the
Dude,
part.
I used to work out with David Duke when I was growing up.
Holy shit.
We shared a back fence when I was growing up.
Holy shit.
And we used to go to, I mean, that's kind of, I don't know if you consider the Ku Klux Klan a pyramid scheme or not, but...
All right, so that's the part that we want to talk about right there. Yes, Theo, the Ku Klux Klan is, if you want to call it a pyramid scheme, if that's what you think that is, then yeah, it's a pyramid scheme, dude. Let me let me learn you something real quick, bro. This is how cults recruit young men and young people in general. They get you at the places that you don't think you're getting God at. It starts at the gym. So let's just stick with the gym example. It starts at the gym. They take some kid that maybe shows up alone, doesn't have a whole lot of friends. They take someone, maybe a little bit of a loner, and they teach them. They say, hey, let me teach you how to do chests and tries, like he says. Like, he's just all he was talking about was the gym. Oh, he talk about any of his beliefs? Oh, no, definitely not. Steers very far away from any mention of David Duke trying to convince him of his racism, essentially. But that's what I want to talk about. Is I feel like that's a big Freudian slip, and this is why I want to say that Theo Vonn could potentially still be in the KKK. We don't know, because this is how they do it, right? This is how they got him. They got him at the gym. Take a young, vulnerable guy, you give him some direction. He even says in here, let me get to this other clip. So here at the end of this one,
And all that.
check it.
You know, we just did basic workouts.
Did he quit like a bitch when the reps got high?
Dude, he was
an animal?
He was strong. He was
Really?
a strong man, yeah.
Probably a lot of people after him to kill him. Probably got to be on your P's and Q's.
Probably. And he gave me
Yeah.
direction. He just gave me direction, you know, and
Did he?
didn't, yeah.
Like how to do it right?
He didn't conversate a ton, but he would, this is how you do it. This is how you do it.
Bullshit. See, that's where it's bullshit. That part is bullshit. So he gave him direction. He taught him how to lift. He gave him a spot to lift at. These are all the things, right? A spot to congregate at. Probably, if it's the place where David Duke is hanging out, it's probably going to be like an all-whites gym or something like that. Or he lives in a town that's essentially all white to begin with already. So you see what they're doing here? And this guy acts like he doesn't see what was going on. You think that that's where the story stopped with this guy? You really think that that's where the story stopped with him? Is that he just lifted weights with him and they just like went their separate ways? This guy didn't take an opportunity to actually get this young man into the cult and actually get him to become a part of the KKK? You really think that? Now, of course, we're banking on a few things there, right? Like, if that's the case, then Theo Vonn's a racist. But at the same time, what people talk about, do behind closed doors, we don't know. We don't know about that. And the guy's whining and dining with Jared Kushner and JD Vance. So, who knows? After talking about Gaza this, Gaza that, free Palestine, and then goes and dines with the people, yada yada, whatever. Not the point I'm trying to make. What I'm trying to say is that I think that Theo Vonn is likely still in the KKK, because this is how they got him, was in the gym. And now how is he getting other people? Well, he's getting them through comedy. So these are people who are already kind of anti-woke, slightly jaded by the political discourse. They feel like they're been alienated from the conversation. Maybe they're a young white man and they feel like they're alienated from the conversation, that they don't get to, everybody's a victim. The world's hard for everybody except for the white boy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So this is how they get them, and this is the new avenue, dude. This comedy thing is the new avenue. The UFC gym is the old gym that Theo Vonn is talking about, chests and tries. So I'm just saying, y'all, be skeptical of this guy, Theo Vonn. I'm not going to say that I was like the OG hater and, right all along about this cat, but to be honest with you, I never really cared for his comedy too much. It seemed very sticky. Like he was just, he's this character, and I don't know, that only goes so far. It was okay, and I guess if you're kind of into that type of thing, I don't find country that, that's not really like endearing to me. Some people kind of see him as like, like a friend, or just like a simple guy that they know, or from back home or whatever, but I don't see him as that. I see that as a total act, and and it shines through all the time, but we don't need to, you know, tear him apart in terms of his like mental health or whatever. But I think the fact that he's living a lie shows through his behavior all the time. But yeah, I just want people to be skeptical about it. I've seen this clip making the rounds, and it's concerning because for those reasons, and I feel like people haven't talked about that quite yet, and that's why I want to chime in on the conversation, is because, yeah, he calls him like the Dukester or something like that. Like, he's like, oh, the Dukester. Who calls the head of the KKK the Dukester? Like, I don't know. That's like, there's more there. All I'm saying, I feel like that fool's still in the KKK. And watch out, because if you're watching his podcast, you're watching comedy in general, it's a slippery slope. You're already being primed. All you need is that father figure to step into your life and, you know, go from theory to reality and, you know, put these things into practice and, you know, get you kind of riled up in person, because this is what they do. This is why they, you know, online recruitment, yada yada, all that stuff. I'm sure it's a lot higher these days, but they get kids. They have them working at the auto shop. All right, that's, you know, that was the classic thing in The Departed, is that the young character, he gets mobbed up because he's working at this auto shop, and that's kind of how they find these kids. You know, young kid that needs money, willing to do anything, work hard, and they end up getting taken and joining these really hostile organizations. All right, y'all, I'm just doing some editing, and I just wanted to put a bow on what I said. Essentially, my argument is that I'm not entirely convinced that Theo Vonn is not still part of the KKK. Who's to say that essentially infiltrating mainstream media, mainstream podcasting, YouTube culture, and by that, infiltrating the minds of a lot of youth and a lot of young men in particular. So this is how they do it. This is the newest Trojan Horse, is to get them in on the comedy circuit and slowly warm them up to, hey, actually, you know, come and hang out with us. We're not too bad. Like, these guys aren't even racists. That's how it's done right there. It's the making of indoctrination into a cult, and just perfectly to a T. So watch out for people like Theo Vonn. I'm not going to say 100% that he's still in the KKK, but who's to say that he's not, and that this is a Trojan horse in order to get these beliefs more mainstream, and honestly, just to get you in the room with those people so that they can show you that they're human too, and that they're not so bad, and that their beliefs are, you know, for your best interest and whatnot, as white people or whatever they say. So, anyways, y'all, it's been your boy Blue Collar Progressive, aka BCP, aka the Joe Rogan of the left. If you guys want more progressive content, you can follow me, subscribe, tell your friends about the video. If you like the content, you can share it with your friends, or tag your favorite content creator. I'm talking Kyle Kalinske, I'm talking Vosh. Share it with your favorite progressive content creator, and let's get the discourse going. You guys feel free to, you know, hit the comment section, tell me what you think, also make a video responding to me, whatever. Let's get the conversation going. So anyways, for more progressive content, you can stay locked right here with the Blue Collar Progressive. Thanks. I'll catch you guys later.